Another snag in the Alberta referendum debate.
Neither I nor Forever Canadian as a movement can be proponents of a referendum on separation.
As Thomas Lukaszuk says it's all up to the government to call a vote, separatists grow more impatient.
And the Premier is in an uncomfortable position, and so is the UCP.
Plus, a teenage girl is viciously attacked during a fight at school.
They were able to reconstruct her lip back together, but the whole healing process is going to be over a year.
Aggravated assault charges are laid, and a family is left traumatized. And the pop culture influence at your local tattoo parlor.
I'm just happy to do like those drawings, design, and make it permanently for something memorable for people on their skin.
More Canadians are getting inked with their favorite Netflix character.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Tara Nelson.
Hello and thank you for joining us. There is no resolution yet on whether Albertans will vote on separation this fall. The UCP caucus jumped the gun today, announcing Thomas Lukaszuk's Forever Canadian petition would go to a referendum in October, while the idea was still being debated in a committee meeting. Minutes later, the UCP caucus retracted the press release, but the opposition says the snafu shows the government has already made up its mind. Tyson Fedor reports.
Oftentimes, it feels like the politics of the UCP is a stage play to exercise their power to do what they want.
That's what Alberta's NDP is calling debate over Thomas Lukaszuk's Forever Canadian petition.
The support for separatism has not changed in this province. The only thing that's changed is the rules of the game that the UCP designs to ensure that separatism is going to be on a referendum before Albertans.
The bipartisan committee was finally meeting to decide what to do with the petition question. Do you agree that Alberta should remain a part of Canada? Instead, as debate continued, the UCP caucus issued a media release saying the committee recommended Cabinet put the question to a vote at the October 19th referendum, along with the 9 other questions.
What has happened was a rigged process.
The party tried to retract it, saying it was released in error, but Lukaszuk insists the ball is firmly with the province.
If this committee proposes that the Forever Canadian question is to be put to a referendum, government will be the proponent of a question on breaking up Canada, not anyone else.
Putting Lukaszuk's question in, though, is not going to work well for anybody. So, the whole reason that we're doing this is so we could have a constitutional question. So I don't care what the wording is.
But Stay Free Alberta, the separatist group that had its petition question shot down in court last week, believe this question will not appease the 300,000 who signed up to leave Canada.
The Premier is in an uncomfortable position, and so is the UCP, and totally knowing that a majority of their base is in favor of this.
And constitutional lawyers say bringing Lukaszuk's petition to a public vote raises more questions.
If, however, she decides, despite that, frankly, that ignorance of what was actually involved in the lower court's ruling, she goes ahead and puts it on the ballot, she's potentially opening up a Pandora's box.
Lukaszuk says his question is not constitutional, rather policy-driven.
The proponent was very clear in his public appearances talking about winning a referendum and having a referendum on Alberta's place in Canada.
The meeting was adjourned due to time constraints with no vote cast. Committee will reconvene on Thursday.
And Tyson joins us now with more. So, Tyson, they basically just need more time to get through all of this.
And as you heard there, the committee will be meeting again tomorrow, Tara. That meeting's scheduled to be a little longer than today's by about another hour. Also tomorrow, 2 major cabinet ministers are quitting their roles in Danielle Smith's government. Finance Minister Nate Horner is out. So too is Minister of Hospital and Surgical Health Services Matt Jones. Both of them releasing their resignation letters today, both stating neither would seek re-election next year. Jones says he continues to support the Premier and government, while Horner says he was offered the role. He said this term would likely be his last. The Premier thanked both of them for their work as ministers under her government. Tomorrow, the Premier will name a new cabinet here in Calgary. Premier Danielle Smith is also here for a fireside chat with the Chamber of Commerce. The Alberta NDP say Smith will also be addressing Albertans through a television address tomorrow night. Tara?
Okay, Tyson, thank you. The majority of Albertans believe the UCP government is redrawing electoral maps to improve its chances in the next election. That's according to a new poll. The survey by Probe Research asked about the new approach to riding boundary changes. Last month, the government voted to scrap recommendations from an independent panel and instead strike a UCP-led committee to come up with new maps. The opposition NDP accuses the UCP of rigging the maps. The poll results also show more than two-thirds of Albertans agree that boundaries for urban ridings should stay within city limits. The pollster found pretty high awareness of the issue.
It's not the type of thing that usually registers that much with the general public because the changes are usually not that controversial. But we found with this particular set of changes, two-thirds of Albertans said that they're either definitely aware of them or at least may have heard something about these changes, which is more than I would have expected.
The online poll surveyed nearly 1,500 Albertans and has a margin of error of plus or minus 2.5%, 19 times out of 20. The province is now looking for a current or retired Alberta judge to lead the Boundary Review Committee. A warning. Images in our next story may be disturbing to some viewers. An assault at a southern Alberta school left a teenage girl with part of her lip bitten off. It happened during a fight at Siksika Nation High School last week. The girl's mother says her daughter was bullied and beaten, and now RCMP have charged two of her peers. Jordan Canigan reports.
Ashley Brass sits outside of the Children's Hospital, where her teenage daughter has plenty of appointments ahead of her.
The whole healing process is going to be over a year, and she still doesn't have any feeling right here.
The injuries coming from a vicious assault at Siksika Nation High School on Thursday. The 16-year-old's bottom lip bitten off.
Another student who happens to be my daughter's cousin, she picked it up with a piece of Kleenex and she put it on in a baggie, and they were able to save it. So they were able to reconstruct her lip back together.
Brass says her daughter was bullied, first on the school bus, then in the classroom. Now, RCMP have charged a 15-year-old boy with assault and a 16-year-old girl with assault with a weapon and aggravated assault.
One of the main grounds for it is that there has to be, the injuries are serious in nature to maim, disfigure an individual, which in this case, biting a large chunk of, does fit the aggravated assault.
A statement from the school board says the safety and well-being of our students, staff, and families is the highest priority. We are working with the Gleason RCMP and Chief and Council to ensure supports are in place for those who need them. The incident in Siksika happening just days after another brutal beating in Red Deer, when a girl was punched and kicked repeatedly for more than 2 minutes.
A lot of us here are parents. We want to know that our kids can go to school and be safe and as safe as possible. So when an incident like this happens, undoubtedly everyone is going to be concerned.
For Brass, it goes beyond concern. Her daughter's physical injuries will take months to heal. The mental toll could take even longer.
It's traumatizing. It's traumatizing for my whole family. It's not just, you didn't just hurt my daughter. My daughter has baby sisters and she has another sister. I have 4 daughters, and my mom and my brothers, we're all very close, and this has really affected all of us.
Jordan Canigan, CTV News, Calgary.
The Siksika Board of Education is hosting community meetings this week to determine its next steps to ensure safety of students and staff. The teens who are charged cannot be named because they are underage, but they are due back in court tomorrow. Police have charged a man with murder after another man's body was found in a hotel in Sunridge last weekend. Police found the body of Jerry Wayne Bull at the Emerald Hotel on Sunday. Investigators have now charged Kevin Dylan Kashen with second-degree murder. He will be in court tomorrow. 2 Calgary men have been charged following last week's shooting in Airdrie. RCMP say 4 people were injured after shots were fired and a person was run over. They say a minivan was forced off the road and it smashed into a tree. Police say it was a targeted attack. An investigation into a police dog attack that injured a 9-year-old girl has cleared Calgary officers of any wrongdoing. In February 2025, an officer released his dog from its leash to chase a stolen vehicle suspect who was on foot in Erin Woods. The dog lost sight of the suspect in a backyard and continued running into a green space. That's where the dog chased and bit the girl, leaving her with 5 puncture wounds in her thigh, scrapes on her shin and cheek, and a cut on her hairline. Images from Hawks and police body cams show the attack. Officers then arrived and called off the dog. ACERT concluded while the outcome outcome was, quote, serious and extremely unfortunate. There are no reasonable grounds to believe an offense was committed by police. A man has been seriously hurt after he was hit by a truck in the city's northeast. The man was struck shortly before 1:30 this afternoon at Barlow Trail and 23rd Ave Northeast. The driver remained at the scene. Southbound lanes were closed for several hours as police investigated.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
Calgary kids have more opportunities to get involved in sport downtown this summer. Cavalry FC and Wild FC will present free youth soccer programs at Peace Park on Sundays, starting June 7th and running until the Labor Day weekend. There will also be watch parties for Canada's World Cup games on June 12th, 18th and 24th, as well as the World Cup final in July. And for the second summer in a row, Calgary Surge will offer free basketball clinics Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at Century Gardens beginning June 2nd.
The biggest thing is just like positive experience and joy. I mean, that's what sport is really about at the end of the day. And so if they can walk away saying they had a great time and maybe they learned a couple things or made some new friends, that's really what it's about.
This is all part of the city's strategy to bring new life, new people, and new ideas to downtown. Well, a little summer weather is finally coming our way. Danielle is here. We just had to be patient.
We just had to be patient. We just have to get through the rest of today. And then we have very warm weather in our longer range forecast. We'll get well above normal into the 20s. Oh, my goodness. But we're not there yet. In fact, today is on the cool side. If you're heading out to anything for this evening, you'll need to bundle up. And as you can see, it's quite active out there. Just to zoom into Calgary, isolated showers in the city and even a non-severe thunderstorm really moving in between Chestermere and Strathmore, the core of it anyway. So a little bit of lightning with that one and decent downpour. All right, in the city, it's 11 degrees, gusts 57 kilometers per hour. So it's a cold wind out of the northwest. And we only got to a high of 12 for today. But tomorrow, 8 degrees to kick off the day at 8 a.m. Lots of sunshine for much of the day. The clouds will increase later in the afternoon, but we should get a high of 18 degrees, Tara.
Thank you, Danielle. Still to come, Calgary businesses say they're starting to feel a little more confident, but it really does depend on the size of the business and the kind of costs they can absorb. We'll explain. And made in Canada or maple washed, some grocery stores are under scrutiny for misleading consumers. Last year was a roller coaster for many businesses trying to navigate a rapidly changing trade war. While that hasn't ended and war in the Middle East is now adding pressure to fuel prices, Calgary companies are a bit more optimistic. As Alicia Fielberg reports, business confidence rebounded while businesses continue to face some significant challenges.
The flow of tortillas from this Calgary company shifted due to U.S. tariff uncertainty.
The U.S. did the work for us. They did the job for us to push us away. Now we're happy to be doing business elsewhere.
The actions from the south pushed sales far east, helping Casa Bonita grow.
Our Asian customers were looking for alternatives to the U.S., so we were very well received. The uncertainty now is not if we're going to make it. The uncertainty is how we're going to do it, which is a good problem to have.
It's just one of the local companies feeling more optimistic after a challenging 2025. Business confidence rose to 67%, up 13% from a 3-year low at the end of last year, according to a report from Calgary Chamber of Commerce.
So they're still concerned about the level of costs, but don't have that same level of anxiety that things will change overnight the way that they did a quarter ago.
Among small businesses in Alberta, only about half are optimistic, according to the Canadian Federation of Independent Business.
Right now, what small businesses are telling us is that their biggest challenges are fuel costs and taxes.
Rising costs, especially due to fuel, is now the main concern for many companies.
Prices have gone up like 20-30%.
As well as finding enough skilled workers to get the job done.
And sometimes we cannot get a container or a trailer because there is not enough drivers.
Alicia Fielberg, CTV News, Calgary.
The CFIB is expected to release its latest economic barometer tomorrow. The Canadian Horse Defence Coalition and other animal welfare groups confirmed to CTV News that the horse slaughterhouse in Fort Macleod is now permanently closed. The Bovary exports facility faced intense international scrutiny for decades over animal cruelty allegations. Last year, the company was convicted for animal suffering and transport violations after the Canadian Food Inspection Agency laid multiple charges. Although the slaughter plant itself ceased operations, animal rights groups are still continuing to campaign against the company's live export of draft horses overseas via cargo flights for slaughter.
This is CTV News, Calgary.
All right, let's look at our 5-day forecast because it gets better and better.
It sure does. You know, are you ready for some summer?
I am.
Yes, so am I. And I'm sure you're ready for some days that aren't so active, aren't interrupted by thunderstorms, and a little warmer than what we had today, because today we only got to 12 in the city. Plus, we had a biting wind from the northwest, so it was certainly a chillier feeling day today. We're sitting at 11 right now in the city at the airport. It's 11 as well in Lethbridge, and 10 in Brooks, 8 in Medicine Hat, and just 6 in Pincher Creek. Just to put this in perspective, a normal daytime high for Calgary is 17 degrees, so we are below normal. All communities in southern Alberta below normal for today, but that's about to change. Again, we also had these very gusty winds in some communities. Medicine Hat topped out at 76 kilometers per hour, and Calgary, we got up to 61 today, Red Deer 65. The winds will be a lot tamer tomorrow, looking in the far south at 40 kilometer per hour gusts possible, and it should be just up to 30 in Calgary. So tamer winds, a brighter day. Before we get there, though, there are a couple things we do have to talk about because there are statements and advisories in place. So in this greenish color here, Medicine Hat over to Champion, Brooks, up through Strathmore, Drumheller, Coronation. This is in place because of the potential for some rotation with some of these cells. So funnel cloud development is a possibility. Now, keep in mind, things are starting to wind down for the day with regards to thunderstorm activity. So much less of a chance of getting this at this point, but the statement is still in place and will likely be in place maybe for another hour or two. And the risk is there for another hour or two. All right, so we have Airdrie over to Cochrane, up the QE2 over to Rocky Mountain House. That is a frost advisory because we'll be dipping in those areas to or just below the freezing mark tonight. So cover the plants or take some in, whatever you can do to protect them. All right, so this is the active day we've had. You can see here, it's similar to yesterday. Calgary still isolated showers possible right up until about the midnight hour. And you can see this non-severe cell strolling right through Chestermere, Strathmore, the core of it in between there. Some small pea-size hail could be associated with this one. So not a severe storm, but certainly packing a punch with a big downpour as it tracks through and towards the south. We also had an active afternoon south of Medicine Hat with all these cells you see here. Looking at the future cast, this pushes out of Calgary just after the midnight hour. It will remain in the southeast corner for till about 6 a.m. and then it's a stable day tomorrow for Calgary. We'll just see clouds increase later in the day. 18 degrees is our high tomorrow. By Friday, mainly cloudy with some sunny breaks, but a high of 20. And we may see some showers after 7 p.m., so nothing really to worry about. And then the weekend, 21 for Saturday, 20 for Sunday. That's your Action Furnace 5-day forecast.
The Snowbirds will take one final flight over Alberta this summer before the iconic Jets are retired, but they will not be coming to southern Alberta. The Snowbirds have flown the Tudor Jets for the past 55 years. The aerobatics team will be getting an upgrade, but those new jets won't be ready until 2030 at the earliest. The Snowbirds are based in Moose Jaw, but many of the pilots and ground support crew receive training in Cold Lake. A former Conservative MP and retired Air Force member says the impact of grounding Canada's Snowbirds will be felt in Alberta.
It takes away one of the things that people in the military, pilots and ground crew, can aspire to. I mean, being a member of the Snowbirds, either in the air or on the ground, is a pretty cool thing to do, to have on your resume, so to speak. So it's something that people aspire to. I wanted to join the Snowbirds one year. My wife said no, but that's another story.
The Snowbirds will be at the Red Deer Air Show on July 25th and 26th. They will also be in Villeneuve, Cold Lake, and Grand Prairie, but there are no stops in southern Alberta this year. A federal agency is reporting an increase in complaints about something called maple washing. That's when retailers and producers try to make their products appear to be 100% Canadian made or grown in order to appeal to the growing Buy Canadian movement. Here's Abigail Beeman.
tend to look for origin on what you buy?
Yes, I do. I try to get Canadian.
Trade tensions with the U.S. have many shoppers looking to buy Canadian where possible, and they tell us they don't appreciate attempts to maple wash.
People are trying to sort of vote with their dollars when it comes to what they want international policy to be.
It's not fair. It's not right. I want to know where it's coming from.
The Canadian Food Inspection Agency says complaints about maple washing are on the rise, 400 since the start of 2025 when the trade war heated up.
Classic situations of false representations or misleading advertising.
Joey Zukran is one of the lawyers behind a yet-to-be-certified class action lawsuit taking aim at a string of stores with examples like a maple leaf beside a can of soup that says product of USA and tomatoes advertised as a product of Canada that say product of Mexico.
The allegations in the lawsuit are clear that this was done to attract or touch on the sensitivity that many Canadians have shopping, especially in these times.
Not all products at Canadian grocery stores are even required to have their country of origin listed. There's no official logo for Made in Canada, and according to the CFIA's own website, a maple leaf on a product doesn't necessarily mean it's Canadian.
We need stronger penalties. We need greater enforcement.
In addition to consumer confusion, this entrepreneur lecturer says maple washing is unfair to Canadian suppliers who can lose business in the process.
Some kind of a certification mechanism would help.
Of the big retailers, only Sobeys and Loblaw responded to a CTV News request by deadline. Both acknowledged some isolated incidents they say they worked quickly to fix. Loblaw companies were slapped with 2 of the 7 fines the CFIA handed out. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa. We have new data from Stats Canada on breast cancer rates in this country. The agency found there are different rates based on where you live. So where are those rates highest and why? And talk about an eagle eye. This guy swooped in for a quick meal in the middle of someone else's fishing trip. Different places, different risks. That's the headline of a Stats Canada report on breast cancer. If you're going to be diagnosed and treated, you are better off living in large metropolitan areas. Too many women in some rural areas or in regions with large immigrant and racialized populations are slipping through the cracks. Here's CTV's Jean-Véa Beauchemin.
Patricia Russell calls Brampton, Ontario, home, and she's survived breast cancer twice. 2 diagnoses 13 years apart.
It just felt like a kick in the stomach when I was diagnosed. It was it was a high time in my life. And the doctor told me that you have the bad kind.
It's triple negative, an aggressive subtype. She says she received excellent care. A new study found geography tells the story when it comes to breast cancer risk, mortality, and experts say care. Statistics Canada found the incidence of breast cancer is highest in rural regions of Quebec, Ontario, and the prairies, but also in some urban centres with large immigrant and racialized populations. In contrast, fewer women face a diagnosis in large metropolitan centres like Montreal, Toronto, and Vancouver, as well as in northern and remote regions.
Having access to data like this is really just so crucial for decision makers and policymakers to have a better understanding of where resources are really needed. So this really does bear out the fact that in many communities outside of the big urban centers, there is that lack of access to being able to book an easy appointment with for a mammogram.
The study also found where you live impacts the risk of dying from breast cancer differently. It's highest in rural eastern regions, lowest in large urban centers where there's better access to treatment and follow-up care. Russell is now doing well and a tireless advocate helping other women through a support group.
I'm very aware and I'm very conscious and passionate about educating, especially women in the Black community, because we tend to not take care of ourselves the way that we need to.
She's also pushing for removing as many barriers to care as possible, no matter where home is. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
Two generic versions of Ozempic are set to start arriving in Canadian pharmacies this week, which means patients who use the drug to treat diabetes or for weight loss may have more options for a fraction of the cost. Health Canada approved both Dr. Reddy and Apotex's generic semaglutide, the active ingredient in brand name Ozempic, about 3 weeks ago. Apotex is based in Canada and it began shipping its products Tuesday. India-based Dr. Reddy will be available in select Canadian pharmacies and will be more widely available nationwide in the coming days. Both Rexall and Shoppers Drug Mart say they are expecting shipments for both drugs by the end of the week. Meanwhile, Health Canada is still reviewing several other submissions for generic semaglutide. How dedicated are you to your favorite TV shows? A new survey indicates more and more Canadians choosing tattoos are getting inked with their favorite fictional characters. That's next. Tattoos, of course, come in all shapes and sizes, and they are a very personal decision, but people can be influenced. In fact, Netflix Canada asked tattoo artists about what they're working on lately, and it turns out many of their clients' requests are inspired by shows from the streaming service. Kevin Fleming explains.
It's a 4-hour process for Cody Wilmot to get his favorite characters tattooed onto his arm. He says it hurts, but it's worth it. This is his first tattoo, and it means a lot to him because the two characters are from shows that he and his wife enjoy.
Snorlax is just a Pokemon that I've always enjoyed growing up. And Luffy's a character of an anime I'm sure everyone knows, One Piece. I've watched all of One Piece. I'm currently up to date on that one.
It was Alex Chen's job to take the idea and combine the two characters into a tattoo for Wilmot.
I love all of it, honestly. The artwork, the color, he did a phenomenal job on all of it. It reminds me of my childhood. It reminds me of my wife. It's a wonderful piece.
Chen was one of many artists across the country contacted by Netflix Canada to take part in a survey about how shows on streaming services are turned into tattoo art.
1 out of 10 of the Canadian Netflix subscribers, they actually have a Netflix related tattoo. So like the trend is definitely getting bigger and doing a bigger effect on like the tattoo industry.
And this is Chen's specialty. He's been working on pop culture tattoos for 8 years.
They don't just get the pop culture tattoo because of how they look cool or like how wonderful the design was. Not just that. They actually came in because of how the characters reminds them who they really were at a certain point of life.
Leah Anifuwushe sees many trends come and go, but says pop culture tattoos aren't going anywhere.
I don't know if it'll ever really die out. Maybe it'll like shift to like different characters or different like medias maybe, but I think like pop culture has always like really moved people, so that's going to be something we're going to see for like years to come.
Chen says some of his favorite characters to work with now are from K-pop Demon Hunters, because that's a show he and his 4-year-old daughter watch a lot. Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
So the nationwide survey was conducted by Netflix Canada and Abacus Data. Some of the popular tattoos are from K-pop Demon Hunters, One Piece, Squid Games, The Queen's Gambit, and Spider-Man. We've posted more of Alex's work on our website. He's very talented. Some BC fishermen had a little bit of competition while out on a lake near Vernon last week. This video of an eagle swooping down to pick up a fish they just tossed back has gone viral. Nearly 5 million views online now. The man who posted the video said it's moments like this that make you just want to stop and appreciate just how wild and wonderful nature really is. What a moment that would be.
Terrific, yeah.
And Glenn, have you seen that golfing before too?
No.
Birds swooping down?
I have not swooping down on me, but not for a fish, yeah.
Well, international sculptors are in a small seaside town in Denmark for the 15th annual Sand Sculpture Festival.
A little bit of clay in it, which means it dry out and get hard, rock hard, and can stand the rain.
More than 60,000 visitors are expected to come check out these creations. This year's sand art is all inspired by the Middle Ages, and it includes knights and blacksmiths, princesses, and much more. The durability of these creations is key because while they are being made now, they are expected to stand until October.
Wow. Look at the detail.
Look at the detail.
Amazing,
yeah.
Wow.
So interesting. Well, the sale of a new truck had to be put on hold after someone moved into it. Just look closely. A mama robin built her nest inside the wheel well of this brand new F-250 pickup at a dealership in Kansas. Robins' nests and eggs there are federally protected, so the truck can't be moved until those newly hatched chicks decide to leave the nest. Employees say animal encounters at this dealership are kind of a regular thing. They report stray cats and even possum families have been found hiding in vehicles.
Just the kind of thing that birds would do.
Yeah.
You know, hiding out,
just
right?
hiding there, yeah.
Just waiting.
They got dibs.
Need to pounce.
You can't go, they got dibs.
Stealing your golf balls.
Yeah. Well, wait until you see these photographs. They were submitted worldwide, a record number of entries to an annual photography competition that highlights the wonders of the Milky Way galaxy. These are incredible. These are the best of otherworldly images showcasing the breathtaking beauty of our own gargantuan galaxy. The 2026 Milky Way Photographer of the Year contest saw 6,500 submissions. They whittled it down to the best 25. They were all taken under dark skies, far away from light pollution in various corners of the world. Some showed off meteor showers, others showcased glowing stars above and twinkling fireflies below. The full winner showcase can be found at capturetheatlas.com.
Just beautiful, eh?
Absolutely incredible.
Magical.
Yeah, that is cool. Well, still to come, footing the billion-dollar bill, we'll take a look at how much we're spending to host the FIFA World Cup. Stay with us.
Here's your Skywatch weather camera, and we had another active day today as expected. Tomorrow should be a lot quieter. The sun will be out a lot more. We are not looking at shower or thunderstorm activity in the city for tomorrow, and the winds will be a lot calmer as well. But we're not quite done with the system just yet. Currently, we're sitting at 11. 12 was our high, and normal is 17. So we are certainly below normal today, but that's all about to change. For the rest of this week, we'll be either at normal or above it. There's our little 12. 20 was the high in Victoria today. In the 20s, Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, Quebec City in those mid-20s, and check out Fredericton and Halifax today. Got to 30 and 32. All right, so we still have the weather statement in place for potential funnel cloud development. Again, less likely of a chance at this point because things are winding down for the night, but that statement's still in place. Airdrie over to Cochrane and up. There is a frost advisory because we'll dip to or below freezing, so protect your plants. And there's a look at how things are starting to wind down with this system. All right, your 24-hour forecast is brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. So overnight, just mainly cloudy. Clearing out, though, by early tomorrow morning. Lots of sunshine for the day tomorrow. 8 degrees at 8 a.m. 18 degrees for tomorrow as our high. UV index will be high. It will be at 6. And by the supper hours, certainly the clouds will be increasing. Taking a little look around at temperatures for tomorrow, Kelowna and Kamloops 23. Edmonton looking at a high of 20. Red Deer 19. Coronation 17. Drumheller 20. Lethbridge and Medicine Hat a high of 18 for tomorrow, Tara.
Thank you, Danielle. Alberta's journey toward holding a fall referendum vote on separation took a bizarre turn this afternoon, straight into another roadblock. A premature news release from the UCP caucus said the Forever Canadian petition from Thomas Lukaszuk should be referred to a referendum. But a bipartisan committee was still debating the issue, and the meeting was then adjourned with no vote cast. It resumes tomorrow. A brutal assault at Siksika High School left a teenage girl with part of her lip bitten off. A teenage boy and another girl face assault charges. 37-year-old Kevin Kashen is charged with second-degree murder after the body of Jerry Bull was found in the Emerald Hotel and Suites in Northeast Calgary on the long weekend. The province unveiled its new Welcome to Alberta signs. The signs feature the new provincial slogan, Strong and Free. 22 of them will be set up at provincial boundary and border crossings at a cost of $3.5 million. The province says the old signs have reached the end of their lifespan after 40 years in Alberta's harsh weather. Installation is expected to begin in the fall. Construction is underway on a recycling facility in Edmonton that will process nearly half the recycled items in the province. Waste Management says its new technology will improve sorting accuracy. Materials that pass the recycling test will be sent to packaging producers and turned into products. In October, the province will begin recycling even more materials, including glass containers, styrofoam, aerosol containers, laminated paper, and more. The facility will start operating sometime next year. We are getting a clearer picture of just how much Canadians are paying to host FIFA World Cup matches beginning next month. According to a federal report, taxpayers will spend more than $1 billion. And as CTV's Andrew Johnson reports, experts are questioning whether it's all worth it.
With the transformation of Vancouver and Toronto into World Cup cities just about complete, something else is also being unveiled thanks to Canada's federal budgetary watchdog. How much it's all going to cost, just over $1 billion to host 13 games in June and July.
It's a shocking amount of money, and when you do the math, it works out to nearly $1 million per minute of regulation game time.
Or roughly $82 million per game, which is actually less than Russia spent to host in 2018, Brazil in 2014, and South Africa in 2010. But one sports economist points out, with Canada co-hosting alongside the U.S. and Mexico, what we're paying for doesn't quite compare.
Well, we're not getting any of the major elimination matches. We thought that if we were hosting the World Cup, we would actually see something of consequence.
The report indicates close to $500 million for FIFA is coming from Ottawa, the rest from provincial and local governments, to pay for things like security, infrastructure, and stadium upgrades. FIFA estimates a multi-billion-dollar economic benefit for Canada. BC's premier last week predicted the tournament will bring 1 million visitors to Vancouver over the next 5 years. The mayor has led the charge.
This is an amazing opportunity. It's going to be a month-long commercial.
Critics claim otherwise.
I've been saying for 8 years now, give or take, that we were sold a false bill of goods, not by FIFA, but by our politicians.
How do Canadians feel? Well, the latest polling from Leger showed close to 3/4 of Canadians support hosting World Cup matches, but a majority indicated their biggest concern is taxpayer costs. And the final number isn't in yet. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
A man has been charged after intentionally driving his Cybertruck into a lake. Police officers arrived to find it partially submerged in the water near the shoreline. The driver told police he drove into the lake on purpose so he could test out the vehicle's wade mode feature, which is supposed to help the vehicle navigate through shallow bodies of water. Fire crews helped remove the Cybertruck from the lake. A new gravity coaster opened on BC's Grouse Mountain today, providing guests with some high-speed thrills and sweeping views of Vancouver. The ride winds through the trees before opening to panoramic scenery, with speeds reaching 45 kilometers an hour. Riders can control their own pace from leisurely to adrenaline-filled, while built-in safety systems keep cars spaced apart. The new attraction marks a milestone year for the resort as it celebrates its 100th anniversary. The Time Machinist is now playing at the Grand Theatre tomorrow through Sunday. Comedy, storytelling, and high-flying circus are all part of the production. The show was put on by local nonprofit Cirque de la Nuit. Tickets for the all-ages 90-minute spectacle can be purchased at thegrandyyc.ca. The Stamps' next pre-season game is against tomorrow, and the matchup will include a former Elks player now on this side of the Battle of Alberta. Glenn has that next. Nearly 1,500 runners took on a marathon that you can see from space. The 23rd Great Wall Marathon took place in northern China. It's one of the most challenging marathons anywhere. It includes steep, uneven stone steps, mountain roads, and rural villages. There was also a course for a half marathon and an 8.5-kilometer fun run. The Calgary Stampeders have a long time between preseason games. Glenn is back with us, and Glenn, the Stamps will have a lot of time to work on their game.
Tara, the Stamps beat the Saskatchewan Roughriders on Monday. They don't play again until May 29th when they wrap up the preseason in Edmonton against the Elks. Devondre Bynum is trying to earn a spot in the Stamps secondary. The Dallas, Texas native does have some CFL experience. He spent the last couple of seasons in Edmonton with the Elks, but that was limited to just 5 games last season due to a torn pec injury. Now he's on the other side of the Battle of Alberta and excited to make his mark in Calgary.
My time over there in Edmonton coming to play Calgary, it's always been a hostile environment. It's been a fun environment as well. But you know that's in the past now. Now I'm on this side of the rivalry.
Well, he hadn't played the halfback. We feel like a position he can play, and you know what I saw when he was at Edmonton, he had good speed, and he was a shoot tackler, meaning that when he triggered with great speed on that. I think he's learning that, and I think he is starting to pick it up.
Dickinson says it's unlikely he'll make any more cuts until after the second preseason game. Well, tonight on Golf Tips, what do you do when you hit a little long and you don't have much green to work with?
Mackenzie Meadows Golf Tips with PGA Pro Scott Orban.
We're at the 10th hole at Mackenzie Meadows, and Scott ate my Wheaties this morning. Hit a little long on this hole, didn't I?
A little long, hit a little bit of trouble. So we've got situation. Of course, Glenn gets 3 balls. Most of us get 1. So
I need all the help I can get.
What kind of shot would you hit here to that pin?
Well, you got to flop it, right?
You got to flop it. So what is a flop shot? So flop shot is a pitch shot, but oftentimes golfers will open their club head. So I'll just show you here using this little stick here. I put a square club face on there. A lot of golfers will get in here with their high lofted wedge. You told me you got a 58 degree, and they'll open it up. Well, when you open it up, sometimes golfers open it up a little too much, and you can see if I went through that, it's just going to go up and go nowhere. Okay, so you got to get to know yourself. When you do open that club, if you were going to open it, just open it ever so slightly,
like that there.
Yeah, and then you got to hit a pitch swing. But let's see you do it with a square club face first, Glenn, because the 58 is already very high lofted and should go high into the air. And you can see that went nice and high.
Oh.
And a good shot. It just rolls out a little bit. All right. So now, if you want to open it up a little bit, go ahead and open it up a little bit. But now you need a little bigger swing, and that can be a little scary. So, and a little more awkward because you're coming across the ball. And you can see that one lands a little short. It's going to roll out as well.
Oh.
But a good shot. So real tough shot, but you're probably not going to get this one close. But just be aware that you don't want to make a thing wide open, because that's where people just scoop under it and it just plops 3 feet in front of you. Then you're a little frustrated. Your goal, get it on the green. You got a chance to make that putt.
Okay, let's go do the par. Let's do it. All right, next week we're going to talk about driving into the wind. Not easy.
Well, we've certainly had a lot of that lately. This week has been probably terrible for golfers out there.
Right. You know, this is the, I would say, most stable forecast I've given in a while. Here we go. 18 degrees tomorrow. No active weather in the forecast for tomorrow. A little bit for late Friday, like evening after 7 p.m. And then quiet on the weekend. This was the weekend we should have had for a long weekend, but we'll not even go there. How about we just enjoy
It's too late now. We got to move past it. Move past it.
Right. But look at those 20s coming up here Friday through Monday, and it'll last even longer than that, about 8 days. Okay. Weather window brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, Alberta's climate. And look at this cool shot from Rob Price. Took this in Fish Creek Provincial Park today. Yesterday was active, today was active. Creates some really amazing photos, as you can tell. So now I'm hoping to get some sunshine photos coming up here.
And flowers. Things should start blooming now, right? A little
Yes.
sunshine, a little heat.
Yeah.
We should see some blossoming trees. That would be great. Thanks for your company tonight. Have a great evening. We'll see you again tomorrow.